This is North Metro TV. I'm Eric Nelson. Thanks for tuning in. Local Decision 2022 continues, and joining us now in studio, running for Blaine City Council, Ward 2, Joe Menth. Joe, good to meet you. Thanks for giving us some of your time. And tell us about yourself and why you're running for City Council.
Well, a little bit about myself is I've been a Blaine resident now for, well, long story short, I actually was born in Blaine, moved out for a stint, went to high school, graduated, went to the military. But back in Blaine now, I've been here for 7 years, residing with my wife and son. The reason I really wanted to get involved in politics was, you know, when you see things that you want to have changed, when you see things daily that almost never really getting taken care of, and then you start hearing voices from the community of, you know, what they would like to see, what they would like to have done, and what things, you know, they have done or tried but not succeeded in. And so I wanted to stand up and be that voice.
What is the top priority? What do you want to change if you get into the City Council?
Well, there would be a lot of working with Parks and Rec, I think. There's so many trails that are discontinued or demolished that need to be upkept. There's the lack of street safety, really. I mean, the sidewalks basically end where there's, you know, gravel road, or gravel and then the road. And I happen to know someone that got hit and killed by a car just by walking her dog. And so I want to bring in the safety factors of that and try and join this community a little bit better to make it safer for everyone. And so, I mean, that's like the main part that really got me going. 65 is a huge part, but that's on everyone, I think. I had talked to a few people that were door knocking and, you know, state representatives, and they basically said that that's their number one priority too. Everything's been designed and approved, and, you know, I have nothing that I want to say, you know, negative about that. That's all great, and it's moving forward. I want to push to help, you know, help get that the grant so we can get that taken care of too.
Yeah, obviously that's always the elephant in the room, right?
Right.
Good old Minnesota State Highway 65. Got to get it up to speed. But you mentioned the sidewalks and the trails, and, you know, Blaine's up to 70,000 now population, projected growth to 100K someday. It's important, isn't it, to have places to go and get outside, get the fresh air, get the exercise, and be safe, as you said.
Right. Spend the family time, get out there, and nothing worse than having a destroyed path to, you know, pick your little child up on a pothole, you know.
Are you hearing from the people that you talk to that that is something they want addressed?
Yes. There's quite a bit of other things that they have addressed too. You know, for instance, a community center. You know, Blaine doesn't have one. You know, the closest ones that we have are, you know, at Shoreview, and you know, why don't we have one here? We're a great community. You know, everyone thinks that Blaine is good, and it is good. I love it, but I think we can make it great. You know.
What would a community center in your eyes add to Blaine?
Well, not only would it keep all of us here so we don't have to veer to other places, but it would really help out with the community, meaning as a whole. I mean, when all of us can get together and stay within the community, not only that, it drives business to the community, where other cities will come visit us, give us their business. And so, I mean, realistically, it pays for itself.
Blaine is one of the top tourism cities in Minnesota. You've got the 3M Open Golf. You've got the USA Cup Soccer. How do you improve on those events and create more reasons to come to Blaine?
Well, the community center would be one, really. It's not just based around sporting events then. It's based around recreation and fun.
Are you in favor of a downtown in addition to a community center, something where there's a central core?
I never really thought about that. I don't really.
It's come up, I know, with other candidates, we want a downtown Blaine, or more shops, or more restaurants or bars. I know there are some, but it's come up.
Right. It is pretty spread out, but it's pretty equal, I think, everywhere. So it's there's no one hub, I guess, which is actually kind of a good thing. It's less crowded in certain areas at certain times.
We talked about the population and the growth. How should that happen? I think it's inevitable. Blaine's going to gain population, but do you want to grow at a slow pace and make sure you're doing it right? How do you see that?
Well, we have been expanding quite rapidly, I believe, with the new residences that are going up. I believe there was one built behind me just last year, and now right to the east of me, there's another 3 or 4 that have gone up and are currently in the process of it. So, our growth rate is doing well. We're also, I believe, building senior housing too, which houses a lot of people. So with everyone coming in, I believe we have the ability to not only support everyone that's coming in, but I think we can also plan to expand as need be.
Back in the day, Northtown Mall was thriving. It was a magnet for people to come and shop. Not so much anymore. Do you have any visions for Northtown Mall?
Well, I did see the plan for the reconstruction of it, and I'm actually in favor of what they were doing. I don't really know what their process was. I didn't really read far into it, but the way that they have it laid out seems like it would draw more people to it. But realistically, it comes to, I think, malls are slowly diminishing. It's online sales that are rocketing. And so sometimes you just can't win the battle,
This is your first foray into politics. You're a newbie. And maybe a couple decades ago that would be viewed as a negative. But now if you hear that phrase, career politician, I'm not sure everybody likes it. So is that good that you bring a fresh voice and fresh ideas to the table?
I think so. I'm getting my foot in the door. So
Yeah.
I may be green, not know every step into it, but it's my drive to learn. I take things and excel. I want to do good. I want to learn. I want to take care of it. But I guess what it really comes down to is I'm not just a voice. I'm the voice for the community. I'm a very easy person to talk to, very easy person to listen to, and I love listening to people. But I'm also the problem solver. Come to me with a small problem, I will look into it. There's no problem too small, but there's also no problem too big. I want to take it all in, figure out what I can do, and make sure I can take care of the problem.
You have an Army background. Has that prepared you for this moment to enter into potentially becoming a city council person?
Potentially it has, yes. I had a lot of leadership skills. So I did a tour in Iraq, and I was one of the lead elements going through. The greatest risk of life is not risking anything at all. And so going into this, risking my life already, I feel like I can be a great leader.
So you've been to Iraq. You've been in the trenches. I would think this is going to seem not trivial, but nothing can top what you've already experienced. Is that the way you look at it?
No, it's not the way I look at it. I think there's no top in life. There's no greater thrill than your next day. You can't exactly live your life in a dull moment. You know, if you do that, you never want to succeed or do anything. So I can't say that I've reached the top of anything yet.
But you have had success in business.
Yes.
Co-owner of Spiral Manufacturing, a multi-million-dollar company. How will that help you if you become part of the council?
Well, again, I deal with problems every day, whether it be inside, outside, or within the company. You know, I take things, I handle them, assess the situation, figure out the best way to do it, and take care of the, you know, not the problem always, but take care of the situation. It also, you know, puts my mind into understanding what people feel, meaning they, you know, if I say do this, meaning like load the truck. If you're going to load the truck, do it this way. And then if they decide to do it a different way, I have to understand why they did that. I mean, it's not that they were trying to overthrow me or anything. It's, you know, everyone has their own idea, and sometimes theirs is better. And mine is not always right, but I have to understand that not everyone's, you know, perfect, which I'm not either. But this, you know, the understanding of, you know, everyone, their individuality has, you know, their own way of doing some things, and if you don't understand that, then I don't think you can actually be a good leader.
Being in business, will that help you as far as, say, fundraising goes, or, you know, laying out a budget? Will that give you a step up?
Well, you have to learn how to control what you spend. So yes, being on a budget, understanding, you know, what priorities are better off to be done, then yeah, I definitely think I have a foot in the door on that.
Let's bring it back to Highway 65, because I think we can all agree that until that problem is actually solved, you know, Blaine still has issues that go right to that road. What will Blaine look like when Highway 65 is up and running, and whether it's a freeway or whatever it becomes? How much better will this city be, in your opinion?
Oh, I believe it will be hand over foot. I mean, everyone's touched Highway 65. Everyone does. And whether it be going to work or running a simple errand, you know, it's going to make that daily commute to work a lot easier. It's going to be, you know, that much faster to go run an errand at, you know, a local facility. It's going to be faster. I believe it's going to be safer. So I think the big picture of it's going to be absolutely outstanding.
Do you think the funds come from DC and St. Paul? Is that the answer? Because it really does boil down to money, doesn't it?
Right, but I have no idea actually where it would be. The funds for 65 is what we're talking about?
Yes.
Well, it's a state highway, so it's but it needs federal funding too, and so in order to get that, it has to go up the chain. I mean.
All right, before we let you go and you get back out on the campaign trail and knock on some more doors, tell the viewers, you know, why Joe Menth would be a good candidate for City Council in Blaine.
I believe I stand for the people. I believe I can stand up for you, answer your problems, fix your problems, solve your problems. I believe that I will be your voice and your reason. That's why.
Joe, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right. He's Joe Menth, running for Blaine City Council, Ward 2. This is Local Decision 2022.